Good morning, darlings. So, I was just made this post, and immediately that I posted it, you see, I've put it into only me now. Facebook said that I went against community standards. So it's getting really hard to express oneself. And this is why this huge weight of how do I bring my work out. And, you know, this video, for example, I'm making right now, what I feel like doing is I'd like to just put it on my own site, not on Patreon, and for you to, you know, pay between €1 and €5 to see it. Because content creation, even, you know, for people like me who are really targeted, and I can't tell you half the stuff that happens to me because I don't like speaking about it because it brings it more into the reality. But I'm at a really good place now where I don't get afraid, and I've been through a lot. But you know, this is also, this is today, Google, we've got this guy, Abbas 80th birthday. Better known by his mononym, Abbas was an Iranian photographer known for his photojournalism in Biafra, Vietnam and South Africa in the 1970s, and for his extensive essays on religions in later years. He's born March the 29th, 1944. So we've got D-Day, we've got a flip of the 2-6, and you know, this is Baltimore, it's Baal, it's Appi, the bull god. This is the Abbi Pierre. This is why Kate and William came to my village to open, because on the 2016 they came here where the book was written, Abbi Pierre, to the Chateau La Roque. The concert hall in Russia was not only CC, but it was called the Picnic, the peak, the pike of the Liberty Pole, the peak, the Nike, the headless Nike woman, the woman you see on the Rolls Royce, the Nike, Pick Nike at Hanging Rock. So they came to the Rock, to the North Polaris, to the Spin, to the Paddington Bear. We've got the Comet. So anyway, I'm just going to show you the pictures. What have I been telling you for months and months? Appi, Abbi, Apps, Abs, Appa, Abba, the L, the STEIN stone. It's all about the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction on Medulla MEDUSA the P, pale STEIN in STAG ram Israel, the last L7 angle from Saturn in Aquarius at home. We've got Mars and Venus on each sides of Saturn, and for the eclipse on the 8th we're going to have Mars conjunct to Saturn. We'll go and have a look at that in a minute. So what genie do you awaken? So this is the time that we bring up the spirit. What spirit are you going to bring up? Are you going to birth this child of Sybil and Attis, this Rosemary's baby, this Messiah? You know, what child is coming from the seed of the apple? Lamb, lamp. So abdominal, fab, abba, alpha, omega, aleph, tav, abduction, abolish. Kate and Willie came to the chateau next to me where the book Abbe Pierre, the stone STEIN Philosopher's stone. Taurus is the first sign of the new fixed cross. Prince Willie's birthday is 216. The DALI was the cargo ship that, you know, brought down the so-called bridge. The bridge is the ark. It's the ark between the Israel, the Palestine. It's the stone. And dal in French is a stone. It's a big concrete stone. It's dal, it's concrete. So the DAL eye, the eye of the stone. DALI cargo ship. So it's also the surrealist painter, and he actually did a painting of this after I did the last video. I didn't have time, but then I picked up very fast after he's got his famous painting of the bridge broken. Cargo ship hit another bridge arc. So the DALI cargo hit another bridge in 2016 in Antwerp, Belgium. That is the journey of D'Artagnan all over where I live. You have an angle, a leg, to show you you're walking on the walk of D'Artagnan. The darts. You know, this is all where I live. It's not for nothing I've been so under attack. You know, I was hit by my ex-husband in my temple to kill me, and that's why 20 years later during COVID my front tooth fell out, and all I got was dentist after dentist that tortured me, so much so that when I went to New Zealand I had to spend 5,000 euros getting root canals because of this dentist. There were people in my village that a girl passing her journalist exams, people that I've been incredibly kind to. I can't even begin to tell you what I've done to the whole family. But she used me in her end of year exam journalist. She set me up without telling me to do a report on a conspiracy theorist, me. And I had to do recommended letters and speak up for myself because I found out it was a whole group of people that actually were just laughing at me, and they put me in, which meant that I wrote to the journalist school. I wrote to everybody saying you're not allowed to use that video. I was set up by this girl, which meant that I was at that time going to see dentists in Toulouse, and because I'd made such a scandal, you know, I had to fight, which I always have to do for my, like I did when Happy died. I had to write these recommended letters. You have to really fight for yourself. And that led to extreme torture. I was with a holistic dentist, which are just set up places. You know, Toulouse is the place where they're setting up the new NASA. It's the to lose the track, to lose the correct middle path. And they're all there. And so, you know, I just can't go back to the dentist without extreme torture. And it happened to me just last week. I'm so stupid. I thought I'd find another dentist, and I went in to have that photograph done by the machine, and the whole machine broke, because when I go in, my aura, so it's kind of like a comedy, and one day I have to write it all out. But this is why this content that we bring out, this is now, I'm having to bring this up in a video, but you know, I would like to just put these videos onto my own site for €1 to €5, do them regularly. I don't even have to go onto Patreon, just so there is something coming back in exchange, because we put our lives at risk. And you know, you have no idea what we do, those of us who are trying to explain to you over and over again the game. And it's just very simple. It's a game. It's the photograph. It's not real. So the DAL, the concrete stone cargo ship, hit another bridge arc in 2016, 216. Obviously, summer solstice. Sun is on the wand, baguette of Merlin, sea lion. There's a whole lion thing going on with the Netflix series of, they actually showed a bridge falling and there's something white lion. So white. 216, Kate William came here where Book Abbe Pierre was written in 1924. So this year for the Saint celebrations, you know, we had, anyway, well, I'll come to it. We're going to have Easter Day on the 31st coming up here by Will.I.am J. Hudson to open the Lion Gate in Orsh, 2016, 216, last summer solstice. The village of Abbi, Avéron-Bergelle, and my village had a massive storm on the 21st of the 6th, the most terrifying storm I've ever known. And at the top of the 5-pointed star of my village, Avéron-Bergelle, Ab, the houses were completely, the forest, the houses were completely destroyed. One couple I know is still waiting for their house to be rebuilt. Abba Alters, so we got AA, that's Altair, the Phoenix, the Eagle, the Aigle of Sagittarius. So I'll show you when we get to them, you know. This doodle celebrates French-Iranian photographer Abbas Alta, whose photojournalism, chronic conflicts, religions, and the plight of communities around the globe. So we go through the pictures because I have to take this post down. So there's the book, Abbe Pierre, J. William Hudson. So J is Jupiter. It's the J birds. Appleton and Company. So we got Dr. Appleton and Company, New York, London. So that's orange, New York, where the eclipse is going. Abbas. The book, Kate and William, Tuesday, July the 26th. So the DAL boat last brought down a bridge in Belgium in July the 11th, which is 7/11, 7/11, 9/11, the true date 7/11. So Quasimodo is Notre Dame asking for money. This is a famous Abbe Pierre. Abbe just means priest. So the stone of the priest. Pierre is the stone. So here's my village. Here is the red steeple, which is the 8 surfaced. It's like the mosque, the mosque. So you see that my village, the book, which I have, but I don't have the pictures. All for one, one for all. So both Kate and William are 41. They're going to be 42. Kate's now 42. Skull and Bones 322. My Village 322. Skull and Bones, the Hilarion, the Prince of World. Kate is playing the role of goddess Sybil, the mother goddess Sybil, and her son Attis. So Saturn and Venus, which were conjunct on the 322. And that is my postcode of my village. This is the village. It's the 5-pointed star. Avéron-Bergelle at the top. The castle they came to, Puy d'Agen. We've got Zion, the horizon. We've got a village called Anus just here. The Anus, the Orus Borus. Lupiac, the home of D'Artagnan. And the lake is in the shape of a shark. Alpha Omega, the first and the last. This is the Instagram. It's Mars, Taurus, and the Stein. So this is today. So what is so important is that Pluto entered Capricorn on 3/11, then went retrograde back to in 3/11/2023, then went retrograde back to Sagittarius, the home of Jupiter, under the Altair. This is Alta. He's called Atta. We've got Gabriel Attal in the new Prime Minister in France. So there's Lupiac, the wolf. We've got Deneb, the diving duck. So Jupiter rules Sagittarius. He's only got the wings of the diving duck to make. He's got no air. And on the other side, he's only got the tail of Cetus, the whale, as the wings of Lucifer to take the air. So Saturn is at home. Pluto is in the home of Saturn. Put Pluto here. There's Pluto. So Pluto is right in the home where he was in 1776, the time that the Stripes and Banners, the Francis Scott wrote his poem of the bridge, the key. So Mars is currently on the true third eye, and Mars rules Aries, where Jupiter and Uranus are going to be conjunct under Medulla, the bridge between the Instagram, Jupiter and Mars. Jupiter in the home of Mars, and Mars on the true third eye. So the the Netflix series Leave the World Behind, they use the stag, the same stag as Saint Martin fast, as Saint Martin de Tours. It's always killing the deer to bring in the stag and the ram. Jupiter and Mars, the root and sacrum chakras. And this is the genie, the lamp, bringing up the third eye, the spirits. But what spirit, what child is being born from Attis and Sibyl, Saturn and Venus? So Venus is making the bridge. We're going from the spring equinox in Pisces, should become Aquarius, but we're not there. We've got these gap years. Only Taurus is currently on the spring equinox, which is what all the 216 is about, because the sun is on the wand of Merlin for the spring equinox. The spring equinox, 6:21. The morning, the sun is in Taurus, so at 10 o'clock it's in Gemini. But if we go back, it's 7 o'clock, it's in Taurus, 8 o'clock, it's in Taurus, 9 o'clock, it's in Taurus, and at 10 o'clock, 10, the X, it's on the wand of Merlin. So this summer solstice, we're going to have Mercury, Venus, we'll have Venus, and we'll have Jupiter on Aldebaran, the bullseye, and we'll have Mars at home. So it's always a play of what's going on in the sky. So this incredible lineup, we've got Chiron the key on the whale's tail, we've got the North Node, and we've got the sun, the moon. Currently the moon is in Libra today, and the moon is going to be coming up for this eclipse on the 8th. As little Mercury prepares to go retrograde on the 3-3 stationary, on the 3-1 he goes retrograde. Venus moves in exaltation into Pisces, and the moon will be right on each side of the V for victory triumph, as little Mercury, the child, is born from this marriage eclipse. So the North Node will be here as well, not on the tail. Just got Chiron. And this right angle between Aquarius and the entry of Jupiter. Jupiter and Uranus completely conjunct here. So no, complete conjunction is Hitler's birthday. And that is really enormous, the 20th, boom. And then they move into, so Uranus will move in June in Taurus, and Jupiter moves in May. Okay, back to the post. So, you know, we really are at this passing point. And that's why we have Gabrielle Attal, the storm Gabrielle that was in New Zealand. We go from the I am, the alphabet goes from A to M, that makes M, and then N to Z, that makes New Zealand. It's the how, wow, the two directions. We've always got those two corners. The Key Bridge was built, Francis Key Bridge built, what year? Francis Key built, it was in 1972, opened March the 23rd, spring 1977. So we've got the 366 longer, so it was opened in 1977. And there you've got your 7-7, the two angles. It's always, so here's the genie coming up out of the Aladdin, Medusa, Algol, the app, the apple, Appi, the bull god. So the wings of Mart, the closing. Venus rules Taurus and Libra. Air, Appi, the god of fertility, the App. This is the node, the descending and the ascending node. So there's the sun's path, the moon's path, and the hypothetical points where the sun and the moon meet gives us the nodes, the Milky Way snake. So they're always on the horizon. The constellations are moving, and you will have the north and south node on your charts, depending on the time you're born, and that's where we see where the head or the snake is. But hypothetically, it's just the marking between the meeting of the sun and the moon, and eclipses are only when we have those meetings. So the Philosopher's Stone, Lord of the Rings, Rahu Ketu, it's the north-south node, Lord of the Rings. We've got a ring right in front of the lamp, the Eiffel, the eye, fell, tower, celebrating you lost your third eye, it fell. This is Taurus, is not it's the summer solstice, it should be the south. The north is Aquarius. Aquarius will take the spring equinox, not Appi. So they landed at Pool. This is the picnic at Hanging Rock. It's the rock, it's the Roche. I told you my ex-brother-in-law is called Roche Toe, the Roche. It's always the Roche. So it's always the marriage between the sun and the moon to open that third eye. Israel, Taurus, Aries, and the lamp, the L, the third eye should be Aquarius. They've got it between Mars and Venus. So Mars and Venus, sun and moon, they are always working together. It's the anima and the animus. So there's always one leg under the horizon. We had, for the moment, we're on the mutable cross. So we're on the mutable cross. So we've got GPS, Gemini, Pisces, Sagittarius. Virgo has been under the horizon with the eclipse. Now we're going to have, as we move on, Aquarius falls onto the spring equinox. Leo will rise onto the fall equinox. Taurus is on the summer, and Scorpio, Isis, should take the winter. So there's always this angle, there's always the angle. They show us those two arms upright. They're blocking the spin. The mutable cross is the spin of the Big Dipper, of the PB Paddington Bear. The bear, Russia is the motherland. Catherine the Great, she is the mother. She's playing the role of the mother Sybil. Sybil, cyber attack. So there's always one leg hidden. It's lying flat. The dead soul dire on the horizon. All for one and one for all. 7-7, becoming one voice, the female-male voice. So Mars and Venus no more, and Mercury becomes the ruler of Mars and Venus. So Mercury and Jupiter take control together. The Magdalene, that third eye, and then you've got the two corners, the arc, the bridge, the five-pointed star. You have the 72. 72 makes the 144. You find that higher consciousness. So there's Saint Martin de Tours. This is everything happening now. We've got, let's go back to now. You've got Pluto in the home of Saturn. Mars, Saturn and Venus. Saturn has got Mars and Venus on each side of him. Venus is still in Aquarius for the moment. We've got Sun and Mercury. So little Mercury in the home of his father Jupiter, whilst Jupiter sits in the home of Mars. So Mars on the true third eye. It's the war between coming back to the home of Saturn and the world of Jupiter and the old god of the, of the time of Moses. Mars rules Aries, Mars rules Scorpio. So they're taking Scorpio Isis with this eternal, they're going to create the one world religion, the one world political government. So for the moment, they're focused on the summer solstice, bringing up Mer Lion, the Sea Lion, the Mer Lion, William's birthday. But for the next eclipses, that X marks the cross, they will be focusing on bringing up the opposite Milky Way angle, Hercules killing Scorpio. So the Mars and Venus rules, Mars rules Scorpio, Venus rules Libra, feminine Scorpio, masculine Libra, Mars and Venus, very important, and Mars and Venus Mars rules Aries, Venus rules Taurus. So it's all about the proper merging, and that is done with the adaptability of Mercury and Jupiter. But you have to see the game. You have to see the game. So here we've got Mars now merging with the moon and Venus merging with the sun. The anima animus, inverting, reversing, perverting, and keeping us in those lower chakras of Jupiter and Mars. Saint Martin de Tours killed Saint Saturnin. The name of my road and my church and my village is Saint Saturnin. So there again, you've got the sun and the moon. Mars and Venus gives you the Maltese cross, is what we see at my village next to me, Lupiac. They have the museum and they have this Maltese cross. They burnt down in the village of Lupiac the corner last leg house. So I live in the southwest, and where I used to live at Pierrefonds, the stone, the pierre, they burnt down the central tobacco where they filmed Merlin, Pierrefonds, and where the armistice was signed. Here it is, Pierrefonds, the big castle. They burnt down the central tobacco because it makes a line on a map from northeast. It's the big castle of Compiègne, where they filmed Merlin and Arthur. So I went to live there for 24 years, and now I live, goodness knows how I got to this village. That's the church, that's Morienval, was in my property. My mother bought that property for my husband for 200,000. That's why if I ever go onto Patreon, I want to bring my book out. These are the things I want to do in the next 10 years. I have a very funny story to tell. Okay, back to Facebook. Okay, so it's all about the lamb, the third eye, the thalamus. Lars's picture showing this eclipse, marking the new fixed cross. It's this galactic center. Galactic center. So the gap between Scorpio and Sagittarius is the the summer triangle, and the gap, the Golden Gate, summer triangle here, Deneb, Vega, Altair, and the winter triangle between Betelgeuse, Beltagers, Capella, Sirius. It's here. Pollux. It's here. The winter triangle. So Pons Brooks, we didn't even talk about it, but it's going to be right in the conjunction of Jupiter and Uranus for the eclipse on the 8th, and for the eclipse we've just had. So this is the Chateau La Roque, where they came to. So March the 18th. So I couldn't see. So for the moment, Pons Brooks, for 322, Pons Brooks has been on the V for Victory, but it's going to be moving over to Jupiter and Uranus that comet. So on March the 25th for the eclipse, there is Pons Brooks. There we've got the Salam, Sholom, Aleph Tav, Merlin, the Sun, Summer Solstice, and there's your Mer Lion. So we've got Pluto now back to Capricorn, the fish goat, but we've got the lion goat in Asia, Singapore, the 3 needles as in the Isle of Wight, 3 legs, and the last leg they're merging, Mer Lion, Pisces, 311, Pisces, that gap, that jump, the bridge has broken between Jupiter's home, Pisces, and Aquarius, Saturn, the jump. Opposite Aquarius is Leo, Mer Lion, Mer Maritime, and the Lion gates, the lion opposite. So we had, for the news of Kate, on the 322, the moon was on Regulus. Okay, I think, so Cranarium, everything is Poutine, horizon, the hor is the poot, the vertical, and the horizon, and the straight line, the cranarium, the Ukraine. It's all about bringing in this period where the sun is in Taurus, the Baal, the Baltimore worship. So it goes back to pagan, it goes back to lunar worship. That's why you've got Charles with the cat, the frog, and the spider. So the famous umbrella, full expansion. We've got Jupiter, Pisces, Sagittarius, the feet in Gemini, Virgo, Mercury, the umbrella opens and shuts. Jupiter, the Paris Olympics, is the Jupiter, the 24, the 42. And we should find that 5th element, consciousness, higher consciousness, as the wheel goes from 12 times 30 to make 360 to 5 times 72 to make 360. And again, Jupiter, Mercury, Saturn rules Aquarius, Sun rules Leo, Saturn rules Capricorn, Moon rules Cancer, Venus, Mars, Mars, Venus. The war now, as Saturn has got Mars and Venus on each side of him, and now Venus is going into Jupiter's home. So there's between Jupiter and Saturn and Mars and Venus, and the eclipse is the marriage of the sun and the moon, the anima, the animus, in the home of Jupiter. And he'll have Venus with him, as Mars will be conjunct Saturn, making a right angle to Jupiter and Uranus under the Philosopher's Stone. Rejected the true stone, Formerholt. Gather ye up the 14 pieces of Osiris, all for one and one for all. You can read that, Lars's pictures, and back to this guy. So I'll surely see more about him. It's now 11:14. This is what I mean. There is so much time and energy and nervous energy to do these things, but I'm working myself up doing these little videos, and I will get them onto, I think, I'm thinking to do all this after Mercury's retrograde, but I will start to put my videos on my own site, I think, for a small amount of money, and then I protect myself. So this video that you can't see, so I'm going to show you now. So this video you can't see begins with Picnic at Hanging Rock. It's called the 369 Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius Atomic Trap. It's about picnics. So the bomb, the terrorist attack in Moscow, Mo's cow, Taurus, the 13th chakra, was the concert, the band playing was called Picnic. So, you know, these videos I was making, it's all about missing. She's showing you Aphrodite. And I explain with a lot of patience, because in those days I was working everything out. So let me know if you can actually see that video. I don't think you can. But I have been explaining, so that was in 2019. So I was making that video just before they killed my dog, Happy, and Notre Dame fell. So yeah, for example, my videos, I will carry on doing newsletters and videos on YouTube, but I should remake blog posts for €1 and videos at €5 on my site, something like that. That was, I was explaining the North-South node and Midnight Express, how he goes against the wow, he goes against the movement. In Turkey, Midnight Express. Talking about the Freemasons for a very long time. So there is the bridge, Francis Scott Key Bridge, Salvador Dali, the broken bridge and the dream. So Dali was the name of the boat, and Dal is a concrete slab. PB, Paddington Bear, is the element lead. Lead. Okay, darlings, that's enough. 37 minutes. I love you very much. Come and book readings. That's the only way that you can, you know, you either donate, which, you know, I don't like asking for. I would rather work. So come and book readings, darlings. That is the best thing you can do for me. All my love. Bye for now.